Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Moltrap here coming at you with another StarCraft commentary. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you all, if you are in the United States, had a good holiday. And if you're not in the United States and it's also a holiday, I still hope that you had a good holiday. I just don't know what holiday it was. Sorry, please let me know. That'd be cool to know what other holidays are happening in the world. And if you didn't have a holiday, I hope you had a good non-holiday as well. There you go. We got a nice little interesting matchup here today. We got Midas is going to be the purple player. Oh god, this is going to be hard to tell actually. Brown is okay. Brown is not as bad as it looked at first glance. He's going to be NaDa. NaDa's going to be the brown Terran player rather. We got a TVT here, ladies and gentlemen, and this is just a kind of a random Pro League game actually. I happened to, and is that like one of the coaches on a sign? I think that's the coach's face on a sign. That's really funny. Anyway, this is a just a random Pro League game. I found a thread on TL that was called the best games of Pro League, and it wasn't even like the best games of all time. It was just like the best games of the second half of the season in 2007. So but apparently this is a good game. So I just kind of picked one at random from the list that actually had a VOD because a lot of the old VODs are dead. And we're gonna go ahead and watch an interesting game here. Feel like I don't do a ton of TVTs, but this one should be a good one. Pretty sure this is gonna be a good one. We got Midas versus NaDa, and both players. Now look at this. Okay, so here we go. Well, starting off interesting at the very least. We got NaDa going for a proxy 2 racks in the middle of the map. And I forgot the name of this map, but I kind of recognize it, and it's pretty close positions as well. Like that, those barracks are not very far away. At least, for a second I was like, I don't see a barracks or anything yet. Is Midas gonna fast expand? Be crazy? It'd be insane on this map actually, especially in 2007. But he is not, in fact, fast expanding. He's slow expanding, probably. Well, actually, he's probably not going to expand at all at this rate because he's going to have Marines running into his base very, very soon here. Yeah, so NaDa went for double 8 racks, it looks like. Not even getting a depot before the racks or anything like that. I mean, that's standard procedure when you're going to do a rush. You rush out the rush. You don't do a delayed rush because then it's not a rush. And he started to build Marines here. And, okay, so this is interesting. Midas getting gas now. He does have a barracks on the way. If he spots this, he could build a bunker theoretically, but the key thing is that he's going straight for a factory, I believe, after his barracks. And there's the factory coming up right now. So this is actually a very narrow window of opportunity for NaDa to get in here and do some damage while he can, because once that factory gets a vulture out, it's going to be able to do a lot of damage against these Marines. It won't single-handedly kill the Marines as it would against, like, you know, if there was Zerglings attacking or something like that, you can micro against them infinitely, but vultures coming out will be very dangerous. And now he sees it. He's coming in here. NaDa has brought in his SCV in here as well. Midas pulling a lot of his own SCVs to try and defend this. He's trying to get a bunker up as well. He's not running past, but he's just kind of head-on attacking against the Marines. Not able to micro back as a result, but he's targeting down the SCVs one by one. Great micro. He actually pops the Marine as well. So NaDa, again, wait, is that NaDa's bunker? Oh, I think it's NaDa's. No, that is Midas's bunker, actually. Sorry, it's hard to tell the difference in the colors, but actually NaDa coming in here, picking off the SCVs. They're creating the bunker, and he does get all of them, and now he can camp on top of the factory, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know how he's going to deal with this. He's going to have to pull off some shenanigans where he's going to have to, like, pull SCVs and then lift the factory maybe just as soon as the vulture gets out so he can micro it away. But no, it's just losing the SCVs. He doesn't attack at the right time. The vulture gets out, but the SCVs have already been killed. Can he micro this one vulture to infinite? No, he cannot. And wow, I guess this is going to be a quick win. I thought this was a long game, and apparently it's just like a 4.5-minute victory or something like that for NaDa. Okay, he gets another vulture out here. But, you know, again, Marines have range, and I don't believe the vulture... Well, apparently the vulture is able to... Wow. Okay, actually, he's microing this vulture pretty well. The Marine's not able to get enough shots off initially, and finally he does kill that vulture off, but he was microing that extremely well and was able to get a lot of shots off without counter shots from the Marines. But now he's just being overrun here. And, yeah, this is going to be a quick GG here from Midas is what it looks like. And I'm not sure. I mean, I guess this is a fun rush, so that's why it was considered one of the best games. But I I thought it was gonna be a longer game. I thought it was gonna be a longer game. The VOD, I don't know if you guys can see this in recording. The VOD is 26 minutes long. The VOD is 26 minutes long. So, I don't know what's going on there. Wait, you know what it is? That's you know why? It's more than one game on the same VOD, that's why. So let's skip forward here. And we've got the ace, oh, that was game 4, and now we have the ace match, and it's NaDa versus Go Rush! Okay, let's go! Alright, well this is gonna be perfect anti-spoiler. I don't know what to put in the title of this video now, actually, because if I put NaDa versus Midas, it's true, but it's not really the main event, actually, because that was a quick little rush. Anyway, so it's gone to the ace match. It's funny because I went back to check what the map was. I clicked kind of randomly, and I was like, oh, I should check the map. And I went back, and I didn't see NaDa versus Midas in the list of games, and so I was like, oh. And I realized it's because I clicked on a NaDa versus Go Rush VOD, and it just happened to be more than one game on the VOD. All right, so we get a special bonus game here today, ladies and gentlemen. The ace match now. Getting right into it, NaDa versus Go Rush, and this is actually, what an epic matchup this is. This is in 2007, but these guys are kind of old rivals. Like, they played in 2 finals and a semifinals in 2004, 5. I don't know why I can't remember it because I casted a couple of them, but they had a huge rivalry. These were the 2 of the best players in the world. You know, top 3, top 5 players in the world at that era when they were both on top of their game. And so this is kind of a cool matchup to have as the ace match of this Pro League match as well. So that's kind of cool to see. Anyway, so we're gonna, and I don't know what this map is either, but that's okay. We don't need to know the map this time. We're having a surprise game on a surprise map. It's gonna be fun. This is 2007, so it's interesting to see both these players put in as the ace match players, because these players are not well, I mean, I guess, like, I feel like, because I started watching Brutal around the time of this game in 2007, mid-late 2007. I think this was August of 2007, or maybe the summer, let's say the summer of 2007. I started watching pro gaming around that time. I started casting a little bit later in the fall. And I just don't remember these players being the big names at that point in time, right? But they are obviously legendary players. So this is kind of I feel like this is like a transition point where, like, this is the time when NaDa versus Go Rush is the ace match, right? NaDa versus Go Rush is the ace match. And I feel like, you know, in 6 months, neither of these teams would probably put out these players as the ace match competitors, right? Well, maybe NaDa still, just because, yeah, I hate to say it, but like We Made Fox just didn't have a large bench of players. So anyway, let's stop talking about the potential of these players, because they are going to get into a battle here very soon. We've got a Marine and an SCV holding the line against this early 6-ling attack. He spots it. He might be pulling extra SCVs. Hopefully he's pulling extra SCVs right now. He needs more than 2 SCVs on that ramp. There's the extra SCVs coming off. He's got vision of the low ground so he can bring them off. And he actually gets through the first SCV, though. Gets the surround on one Marine. The second Marine is microing for its life, but it's got nowhere to go. And he's just forced to retreat. And it dies in retreat as well. And we could see the rusher NaDa, who rushed Midas in game number 4, get rushed to death here in game number 5. He is in a little bit better position, though, than Midas was in that last game. He can, you know, stick some Marines in a supply line. He can try and get a bunker down or something like that. He's not quite in quite a bad position, but he does have Lings running around his base. He's trying desperately to build, it looks like a second barracks, I imagine, and he's trying to pull P off. He's trying to get that bunker completed. If he can get the bunker completes, but there's no Marines left. There's no Marines left to get inside the bunker. He needs to make sure he repairs the bunker. Well, oh, that Marine's trying to get in there. The Zerglings turn and hit him before he can get in. He's forced to repair an empty bunker just on the slim hope that he can somehow get a Marine in there. Go Rush is trying to camp that barracks now. He's going to try and stop the second barracks from being completed, actually, by going after the SCV. Oh, no, that Marine's going to get in. Marine's going to get in. He actually, this is so baller by NaDa. He doesn't even run straight to the bunker. He sees the position of the Lings and sees that he has an opportunity to take some pot shots at those Zerglings while they're attacking the far side of the barracks, which is not where he should have been. should have been next to where that Marine was going to pop out, and it was able to get a few shots off on the Zerglings, and now he can kind of cower in that bunker though a little bit, or again he can kind of put that Marine inside the supply line, run it into the bunker when it's in danger, and he's getting extra Marines out as well. I think he also thought that barracks was in danger, so making a second barracks is a good thing to have anyway. But having 2 barracks up is a really good spot here, and the bunker actually protects. Kind of, I don't know if it protects like the top of that second barracks, but again, this is very typical micro ability of Terrans is you can attack with your Marines and then fall back to the bunker if they counterattack you against melee units. Obviously, you guys have all seen that before, and so we're going to see NaDa trying to do that to protect his buildings here. He's had to rebuild the supply depots since his 2 depots were built nice and pleasantly in a cozy little corner in the bottom left of his base that turned out to be vulnerable to these Lings, which are still coming in, by the way. We still see more Lings here. Actually, he's probably switched out of Lings at this point, but I'm not sure. We got, what is that, like 8 or 10 Lings now at this point in the base. Loses 1, so it's now 9 or 7, or however many it is. I'm not going to bother trying to count here, but getting an academy as well. So NaDa is just kind of, he's in the fetal position, basically. He's on the ground in the fetal position, and he's protecting his vital organs. But right now he's gathering the strength to get up as if he was an anime hero that's been on the verge of being beaten. It was left as a cliffhanger at the end of the episode, and now this is the new episode where he's going to get up with his newfound power and try and come back here. And his newfound power is Stim Marines en masse, ladies and gentlemen. He does have a significant number of Marines now. And Gorash, seeing the threat of those Marine count, is going to go ahead and exit the base. And he has been droning up and teching up behind this, which I think is a smart move. I don't think going all in with the Zerglings was really the way to go. He did get enough to really put a good threat down onto NaDa, so that's excellent. But he needs to defend now a little bit because he hasn't been making constant Lings. I think that was a good move, but now he's going to be forced to fall back, making a single sunken. He's got an extra hatchery as well in his main. Interesting. I wonder when he built that, actually. I wonder if that was part of his rush or not. I didn't see. A couple of medics coming across there as well. I think he needs a third sunken at this point. Well, let's see. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Marines. I mean, this is actually very standard 2005 Marine push that NaDa's going on here, but he's waiting for the medics before he goes in. No, he's not even going to wait. He sees that third sunken morphing and the second sunken not yet done yet, and he goes in to try and kill off that one. The drones are coming off the line. He gets the one sunken. The drones are fighting for dear life to try and buy enough time for the next sunken to come in. It does come in. The colony is just morphed. I don't think he's going to have enough time to morph it into a sunken. This one colony is going to work, but he needs to have drones on top of that. The 2 medics are healing fast enough. The firebats are coming as well. Some Zerglings are going to come out, but it's just too late. The firebats have arrived moments too soon for the Zerglings to do enough good, but he does have enough Zerglings. He's able to get us around onto the Marines. He kills all the Marines. He's killed all the Marines now, but the firebats and medics are going to just form an absolute epic blockade on top of the ramp. Now he's used that blockade to kill off some Zerglings that were foolhardy enough to go and try and attack them from both sides. But 2 medics and 2 firebats is too much, and he's able to force his way up that ramp and into the main here. He's got to be worried about these drones now. He can theoretically save himself in the long term, but not if he gets all of his drones roasted, and there was a little bit of opportunity for that firebat. And there's another opportunity. Oh, he's glitching out the firebat. Oh, it looks like the firebat. What happened there? I didn't actually see. There's not enough pixels, but it looks like the firebat died. We didn't see any blood on the ground afterwards. There's kind of an explosion effect, and I wasn't sure if it was multiple drones being fried or not. It looked like he glitched out that firebat too much, though. It wasn't able to get its footing enough to actually fire its flamethrower at anything, and so he wasn't able to get any epic drone kills after that. But now the tables have turned. How the turntables have turntabled again. That now the aggressor has returned to being the aggressor after defending for a while, because NaDa has been expanding behind that push and is a little bit vulnerable now because he lost his firebacks, he lost his medics, he's been making SCVs and command centers, or a command center, and so he's not in hugely good shape right now. Actually, he's probably been putting out, looks like he's been putting out some Marines in the meantime as well, but it's not like he's been dedicating all of his resources towards production. But he's been producing a lot, though. Look at, he has 3 barracks. He's going out for another attack here, but the run by is a threat. You can see Gorash trying to run by in here. This is a perfect tactic. He's going to try and kill some of these Marines, but that bunker from the first rush is there. Normally when you do a run by at this stage in the game, you won't expect there to be a bunker in the Terran's main, but this time he obviously would have known it was there since he encountered that before. In fact, he forced it to be there earlier on, and oh no, those extra depots that he had to build are in the perfect spot to block those Lings from getting out. He knew those depots were there actually, but he just didn't really have an escape route once he got those Lings in there. It was close. If he'd gotten, you know, a few Marine kills, and then maybe an SCV or two, that would have been worth it, but he didn't really get much out of that, unfortunately. And so now, how the turntables have turntabled again for the second or third time, however many times this is, that NaDa is now going on the aggressive again. GoRush having to remake his sunken line, but he's also gotten out those Midas at the same time. Oh, take some free damage on those Marines right now, but he's going to try and get some harass in and try and get some free damage onto the Marines instead of taking them from them. He wants to take hit points from the Marines instead of taking damage from them, I suppose. NaDa pushing in here, though. There are 3 Sunks. If he has any Lings around, this is probably strong enough to hold this push. But, you know, part of the point of this push might just be, you know, if it was most other players, I would say part of the point is to force those sunken colonies. But NaDa is the kind of player that will see the opportunity, make the calculation, and with his genius giant brain, determine, I can beat this amount of units with this amount of Marines, and this amount of sunken colonies can go down before he can reinforce, and he can make that call. It looks like he's not made that calculation in this instance, or at least that's not the conclusion that he's come to, because he's going to kind of fall back a little bit. And that's going to give GoRush a little bit more time to get Lings out, and that's the main thing, is I saw no Lings there, and I feel like just the Sunkens he could take, just the Midas he could take. The Midas and the Sunkens be tough. Midas, Sunkens, and Lings, he wouldn't be able to stand a chance. But I saw that moment where there was no Lings that I wasn't sure if it was going to work out, because it's hard to tell how many he is. But he is going in for a counter attack. Coming in here into the natural. Using Midas to kind of hold back those Marines while he sends Lings in to try and take out the turrets. A nice left and right hook counter where... sorry, combo rather. You know, you send in the Lings to kill the turrets so the Midas have more freedom to kill stuff as well. But it looks like he's going to lose a few Midas, and he's going to lose a bunch of Zerglings. I feel like NaDa is pulling ahead in this race, ladies and gentlemen. GoRush is still on 2 bases. He's got a thriving economy on those 2 bases. He's got plenty of drones, but NaDa is just blowing up right now with his Marine count. He's got perfect defense here. Well, maybe not perfect defense, but he's got a really solid defense. Turrets and bunkers. Again, you know, he's got a bunker in his main, so if the Midas try and fly by and do damage to his main SCV line, he's got a bunker there still. So, and he very... it's awesome that he actually built it in a spot that was forward thinking. Here he goes. The Midas are out of position. The Lings have been killed off. He sees his chance. He's going in. One Sunk goes down. The other goes down as well. The third's going to go down. He needed to engage onto this army with his army while the Sunks were alive, but instead his Lings are all dead. The Midas have lagged behind, and NaDa is able to kill off all the sunken colonies beforehand. Can GoRush micro his face off with these Midas and actually pick off all these Marines enough to hold this push up before he loses enough drones to make this not worth the while staying in the game? He loses a free Midas that's rallied off that hatchery, and this could be the end, but he's actually whittled it down to just a handful of Marines now. If he can maybe get a few Zerglings out here. There's the Zerglings. He goes in with the Lings and the Midas at the same time. This is his chance to hold this off, and he does in fact clean it up, but the second push is on the way, and he's got no Lings left. He's got not very many Midas left as well, and it looks like he's going to counter this push on the way. He sees it. Can he again just really, he's got to try and pick off these reinforcements before they can gather up and finish him off. Here he comes in. The Lings are in battle. He sends in the Midas from behind, and the Lings from the front. He's just standing and fighting, and it looks like the Marines are all going to go down again, and he's going to lose the medic and the tank now as well. This has been so back and forth. Oh my goodness, this is not just one of the best Proleague games of the latter half of the second part of 2007 season. This is an amazing Proleague game of all time. This is just crazy back and forth, and it's the ace match, and it's between 2 absolute historic legendary rivals, and it's been so back and forth. I've at different points in this game counted each of them out twice and thought that they were both dead, and they've both come back and countered so many times. It's hard to keep count at this point. And there's that bunker that I talked about. He can't get in and harass the main supply line because there's a bunker there that was there from the beginning, and I was trying to say at the beginning before, or a little bit ago before he went in for an attack, that he actually in that moment of desperation still had the foresight to put his bunker in a great, I mean, it was a great spot for the situation, but he didn't block his gas. He made it in a great spot that it was covering a lot of different space in his base. It was really just a genius move by the genius Terran. Absolutely well played. Wow, Gorush getting a base in the bottom right, by the way. And that could be the make or break point for this game. Does NaDa know it's there? He's trying to get lurkers. He's got a couple more Sunkens up. The lurker tech doesn't look like it's in yet. He needs lurker tech 5 seconds ago. He needs to be morphing lurkers right now, but he's not yet. This is a little bit too late, I think. Where are the lurkers gonna go? He's gonna, oh no, he's gonna try and lose the Hydras before he can do it. He loses one. He's trying to fall back. He's gonna try and defend his ramp, it looks like, but NaDa's already in. The Irradiate goes off. He has Irradiate tech. The mutas don't get pulled out enough, and he loses all of his mutas. Every single muta goes down. The Spire is gonna go down as well. He's gonna lose his natural in just an extra second after that. He's morphing lurkers on the ramp, but it's gonna be too late. I feel like they're actually gonna pop before they can get any spines out, ladies and gentlemen, as soon as they finish morphing. This game, I think, is over. I think NaDa has done it with a cheeky rush. Look at that. One of them took so much damage that it didn't even finish the birthing animation. It just disappeared. As NaDa's going to go ahead and push into the main base here, and he's going to go ahead and take the game, take the ace match, ladies and gentlemen. Well played. A nice quick rush for game 4, and an epic comeback, back and forth seesaw tug of war game where NaDa finally breaks through in the ace match to take the victory for his team. And that's kind of funny. They added the high 10 a second time, I guess, in the VOD. That's kind of weird, but definitely worth double celebration here. Well done by NaDa. Taking off his jacket for some reason. Maybe it was just hot in there. I think he wants to show something off, though. He's showing off his medals. He's got all his first place medals on his jacket, ladies and gentlemen. Don't mess with NaDa, the genius Terran. At least in 2007. But one of the great things about NaDa, just to add on there though, is like I said, maybe NaDa later on, you know, he was always a player that he never got completely washed up, I guess, which is kind of a weird way of saying it. Sorry, it's maybe not the nicest way of saying it either, but it's too late. I've said it. But he was, you know, always someone that could put on a good match. You know, he was just smart enough and talented enough that that even later in his career, he couldn't count him out, and he was still playing for his team for, you know, for years after he was not competing at the highest level in tournaments. And of course, he went and became really good at StarCraft 2 as well. So just an all-around super gamer we got for NaDa. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed it very much. I enjoyed it. Sorry for a little trickeroony at the beginning of the game there, because I didn't really pay as much attention as I should have to which game I was clicking on. I was like, oh, that looks like Midas. This must be a Midas versus NaDa game. I don't remember it saying Midas, but I must have been wrong. And it turned out to be 2 games, so we got a little bonus. How's that for an anti-spoiler? It looked like the Midas game was going to last a long time, right? Because there was an entire extra game afterwards. Oh, man. Maybe I should have mentioned it was a 26-minute VOD at the beginning, but anyway. If you full screen it, you can't tell. Can't see what the timer is. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Thanks very much for watching. GG. Take care, buddy.